Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good day to you wherever you are watching me from. And I thank you for um, watching our videos as well as all the likes and share that we have enjoyed since you started following us and being part of what we are doing. The Sotere TV is an educational TV that has several things, and one of them is to make you to be grounded in the area of research. Anyway, this video that I'm sharing with you is about variables, type of variables. The behavior objective is we are talking about variables. This is an introductory part of research that is very critical for beginners and define a variable, state types of variable, define and identify four scales of measurement, differentiate among scales of measurement, differentiate between parametric and non-parametric statistics, state the assumption of parametric statistics and the non-parametric ones. I want to say that in this video, I may not touch the entire um, the entire objective. I may have to move to another depending on the timing of the video. But let's hit the ground running. What is a variable in humanities, um, sciences? It's a variable is a concept deliberately adopted for a special scientific purpose, and it becomes a variable when values are assigned to them. And I would not deal with the type of variable based on the real type of variable in the research parlance, but I'll be dealing with variables based on how they are measured. For instance, a variable can be dichotomous in nature. Example of that is gender, which could only be measured as male and female. Some other variable may be polytomous, that means more than one ways to measure them. We can have religion and all of those states of origin. There are many ways to measure them. Some other variable may be continuous in nature. But the main purpose of uh, taking you through this lecture in this lesson is to talk about measurements in research and the skills we use. You cannot imagine somebody driving into a filling station and the person will tell the petrol attendant to give him uh 50 kg of fuel because fuel is not measured in kilogram because it is liquid and the scales of volume are usually considered. The same thing you can't get to where you want to buy perhaps chicken and you say they should sell you 50 liters of chicken because that's not the units or the scale on which also lands are measured on coordinates. We have hectares, acres, square feet. You can't say I want to buy 50 liters of land. Clothes also are measured in length. You can have 2 yard, 3 yard. Also, whenever because research involves measuring variables. For instance, in core sciences, we may be measuring temperature, tensile strength, mass, um, proteins, and all of that. So when we are measuring, we must measure on the correct scale so that there will be clarity in terms of what we are measuring in the exact thing that we are measuring. So for the purpose of this video, I would start by discussing the four scales of measurement that are available, most especially in the uh, humanities research. Also, they are also available in science research in some instances. There are four scales. The first one is the nominal scale used for nominal data. The second is the ordinal scale used for ordinal data. We have the interval scale used for data that are interval in nature. And we have the ratio scale used for ratio data. So let's hit the ground running by talking about the nominal scale. Um, the nominal scale is used to measure nominal data. Numbers are just assigned to nominal data. Numbers assigned to nominal data are used arbitrarily to label categories. I know you must have watched a football field and a football match, and you will know that the players usually have uh, the jerseys and the jersey usually have number. Most of the time, from the number, we may say the wing that they are playing. You know, the right full back, the left full back, the goalkeeper. Most especially in some teams, the goalkeeper is usually number one, and the striker is number 10. You know, the one that is getting the passes to score. But the numbers are just arbitrarily to label categories, not that the number 10 is greater than number 1, in the sense that we cannot clearly say that uh, the person who is number 1 in that team is actually a better player than number 10, but it's just arbitrary numbers. So the only calculation possible is frequency counts of different categories. For example, uh, of nominal scales or nominal like these variables now. Variables like gender, school type, race, political party, state of residence, college major. Oh, what did you study? Are you a chemistry major? Are you a physics? Teaching method, counseling method, personality type. All these are nominal data and they are usually measured on the nominal scale such that we cannot actually say that one is greater than the other. The private school is just private and we can just give it to one. The public is also public. We can't say, oh, because of nature of the uh the nature of the variable, we can say one is better than the other. But they are just labels. That's what I want you to know. They are mere labels. So male is not greater than female. We can't say if we say male is two, just represent it with two, and female is one. We can't say two minus one in nominal scale. That's what we must get. So this is simply telling us is that an aspect of qualitative is just this nominal scale, and what we have there cannot actually uh there is no specific order. uh there could be alphabetical order. There's possibility of mode calculation. We can have frequency. Oh, how many males do we have? We have more males than female. That's mode. Not having quantity assigned, no specific order. These are characteristics of nominal scale. The second scale which we must understand is the ordinal scale. Um, the ordinal scale contains information as to better, worse, or greater or less, but they do not tell us detail as how much better or how much greater. For example, if we have a student in class and they are assigning position to them after a test, somebody could have been first, another one second. You may not know the difference in their score. The same thing, those people competing in athletics. Somebody must have completed a race of 100 meter in 40 seconds, and the other one completed it in 45 seconds. But most of the time, the reports usually exclude the time. We just know that somebody is first, somebody is second. We can't know in details how greater. So the greatness or the differences are not very profound in ordinal data, but we know that one is actually greater or better than the other. For example, if we want to say which organ of the five sense organ is having the greatest importance. We have the sense of sight, we have the sense of smell, we have the sense of taste, we have the sense of hearing, all of them in the head. You know, which of them can we not do without? Is it sight? Is it hearing? Is it that will be in the range of nominal scale? That will be in the range of nominal scale. But if we are now asked, all of them are nominal, we can't say eyes is better than nose or nose is greater than ears. But when we come to ordinal scale, if somebody says that, uh, I was watching a video and the emergency doctors were trying to force a tube down the mouth of somebody who is convulsing, and they are actually worried that what will happen to the dentition of the person because the person is convulsing. So, in the process of forcing it, uh, the tube, they damage part of the teeth. And I had the ER doctor saying that it is better to not to have tooth than to be dead. So, what they are actually saying is that to take care of the heart where they are trying to pass the tube or all of that, the teeth is lesser, but we can't say the difference between the heart and the teeth that they are trying to actually rescue in that sense. So basically, we have seen that the ordinal scale will tell us the difference. So all we can do with ordinal scale is to rank individual on some characteristics according to their position on that characteristics. Variables such as socioeconomic status falls into this category. Another example of ordinal scale, which is very common, is the questionnaire, that is the Likert scale questionnaire that we always administer in the humanities. One of the things that we do with the questionnaire is that we have information on strongly agree, agree, disagree. We can't know whether agree is greater than disagree, or strongly agree is greater than agree by so and so mark, or neutral and disagree the difference between them. That is the future. You know, it is very, very important to note that the uh, the the ordinal scale is simply for analysis and categorization, and the result is more informative than nominal scale because we can know the difference, although we may not get the magnitude of difference as it were. The next scale is the interval scale. The interval scale provides not only greater than or less than information, but also details of how much greater than or less than. However, intervals does data have no absolute 0 point. So we cannot use comparisons such as twice as many or half as much with interval scale. Many of the scores, so it tells us how much is the difference, but it does not have absolute zero. This is what I'm trying to say. Uh, for example, when we have things like achievement test, and you have an achievement test and somebody scored zero, it does not mean the person has no knowledge at all. But based on your skill, the person has scored zero. So many of the things such as IQ, personality, aptitude, educational level, reading achievement, they are usually on interval scale. You know, the interval scale that is common in the sciences is the temperature, Celsius scales, Fahrenheit scale of interval. They have equal interval. The difference between 20 and 30 is the same as between 30 and 40, but no 0 point, as 0 degrees Fahrenheit and 0 degrees Celsius are valid do not signify absence of temperature. There is still a temperature at that level. So interval variables have values that are ordered and have a consistent quantifiable difference between them, but they do not have true 0 point. This means that while the difference between the values can be meaningfully measured, ratios between them cannot be accurately measured. So you can't get ratio from the interval scale. The last type of scale of measurement is the ratio scale. Ratio scale provide not only greater than or less than information, but also details on how much greater than or less than. In addition, there is an absolute and non-arbitrary 0 point so that we can use comparison as twice as many. So most physical measurements are done at the ratio level, e.g. height, weight, age, distance, area. Something weighing 0 pounds means that it is weightless, or 0 kilogram. If your weight is zero, you are in big trouble. Similarly, if your annual income was $0 last year, you don't earn any money at all. So those are the issue. However, most of the characteristics that we measure in education are not at this level because educational researchers frequently deal with attributes such as educational attainment, learning disorders, personality attitudes, opinions, and learning strategy. So the characteristics of ratio scale is number one, it has absolute zero. It has orders, equally distance value between it. Ratio scale data does not have any negative numerical value. For example, weight cannot be minus negative. You can't have minus something. The data values on ratio can be added, subtracted, multiplied, divided. All statistical analysis can be calculated using ratio. And finally, it has units. which have several unique and use. One of them is allow unit conversion. So you can go from gram to kilograms to calories and all of that. So in summary, uh, scale of measurements, I have put a check on the boxes. So nominal data, they have they are just for label, but they don't have meaningful order. They don't have measurable difference. They don't have true zero or starting point. Ordinal data, they can be used for label. They have a meaningful order. You can know that this one came first, the other one came second, and they don't have measurable difference. You can't know how uh, a league, for example, the first league, top tier league, maybe let's say we want to talk about the Division One league and the Premier League, or you can't know the difference. That's the measurable difference. It does not have absolute zero. Interval data is labeled as meaningful order, has measurable difference, and it does not have true static. But ratio scale checked all the boxes because it has label, it has meaningful order and measurable difference, and it has a true starting zero. Thank you very much. Kindly like our videos, subscribe to the channel, and do your best to also comment on the videos. Thank you very much.